Title: The Malevolent Grin of the Goatman. The autumn air was crisp as Mark and I set off for our weekend camping trip, eager to escape the cacophony of city life. Our backpacks were heavy with supplies, and our spirits were high as we ventured deeper into the woods, the sun casting long shadows among the towering trees. We found the perfect spot near a serene creek, and our laughter echoed as we set up our campsite. The crackling fire painted dancing shadows on the trees, and the warmth it provided was a comforting contrast to the chill in the air. As night fell, we swapped stories and enjoyed our simple meals, feeling the camaraderie of friendship envelop us. Little did we know, an unsettling presence had already begun to weave its way into our peaceful retreat. The second night arrived, and an inexplicable unease settled within me. My sleeping bag felt uncomfortable, and every rustling leaf seemed to trigger my senses. A soft noise nearby prompted me to wake Mark, who dismissed it as a woodland critter. We shared nervous laughter before attempting to sleep once more, but the tranquility was shattered by a guttural growl that seemed to reverberate through the very ground beneath us. Our flashlight revealed a nightmarish sight, a creature that was half man, half gaunt, its eyes burning a malevolent shade of red. It stood at the edge of our campsite, its elongated limbs and twisted horns casting an eerie silhouette against the moonlit backdrop. Its lips curled into a sinister grin, revealing jagged teeth that glinted ominously. Frozen in terror, Mark and I watched as the goatman began to advance, each step causing the ground to tremble beneath its feet. Its voice, a twisted melody of darkness, filled the air as it taunted us with tales of ancient curses, forgotten rituals, and an insatiable hunger for the souls of the unsuspecting. Its words painted a horrifying picture of the malevolent force that stood before us. Mark reached for his camping knife with trembling hands, but it was too late. The goatman lunged with unnatural speed, its clawed hands closing around Mark's throat. Mark's screams tore through the night, a haunting symphony of terror and agony. I fought to free myself from my sleeping bag, limbs heavy and uncooperative, as I watched my best friend's life being extinguished before my eyes. Desperation and adrenaline coursed through me as I reached for anything I could use as a weapon. But my efforts were futile. Mark's screams ceased abruptly and his lifeless body dropped to the ground. The goatman stood over him, its eyes locking onto mine with a blend of malevolence and satisfaction that sent chills down my spine. Its sinister grin persisted, as if it savored the terror it had instilled in me. As quickly as it had appeared, the goatman disappeared into the shadows, leaving me in a state of shock and disbelief. I stumbled over to where Mark's lifeless body lay, the weight of grief and guilt crashing over me in waves. The morning light began to paint the sky, and I knew I had to leave the woods, leaving behind the memory of my friend's lifeless gaze and the echoing laughter of the goatman. Years have passed since that harrowing night, and I still find myself haunted by the memories of the goatman's malevolent grin and Mark's tragic death. I've told my story to anyone who would listen, but most dismissed it as a product of trauma and grief. Yet the image of the goatman's eyes and the twisted melody of its voice remain etched in my mind. I can't help but wonder if it still lurks in the shadows of those woods, waiting for its next unsuspecting victim.